दूसरों का नहीं दिखेगा पिछली बार मैंने ऐसे किया और लगा क्या बोलते हैं गुड इवनिंग सर सर क्या बोल रहे हो आप
वेरी गुड इवनिंग न्यूज़ चैनल्स व्हाट एल्स He's so good. Hey, hi Srishti, how are you?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
So you finally made it up to my class. How's your health now?
It's better, sir.
Okay. What is it? Is viral infection?
Yes, viral, sir.
Okay. Okay. Did you cover up what we have done all these days? No idea. Today. Oh, really? Or you just make it up as... No. Thank you. God bless you. But is it a small customary practice he is doing? Or...
हाँ सर किसी 5 मिनट सोए चले
हाँ ये ना very smart मैम को भी ऐसे ही कर सकते हैं मेरा नाम ले गा रहा था क्या गा रहा था Okay, hey, tell me which chapter did I start? We have started with conventional and non-conventional. But we have non-conventional as well, is it? We were in conventional with petroleum, if you remember. I completed with detailed notes of petroleum. Hey, Srishti, just see
Yes,
my lecture, huh? And then notes. I don't know how you cope up. Okay, give me a volume or a textbook. Textbook will be better. Yeah, Ayan's your lecture is on Saturday, correct? And I've given you the timing. I've given you the timing of 12 to 2. Will you? Madam to confirm. Okay, so non-conventional, under conventional, besides petroleum, what is the next thing that they have given it in your textbook? Non-conventional. Sorry, it's conventional, na? Did we do coal? We have completed. Tertiary and Gondwana coal field, you remember?
Yes.
Then 4 types of coal we did miss. Omitted. Are you sure? Okay, next to petroleum, we have natural gas. That also completed on that day. Natural gas is completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us. Which one? For non-conventional gas. You wanted to give?
Yes, sir.
Seriously? Okay, put the heading conventional. I'm giving notes on natural energy or natural gas first. Start writing for natural gas. 60 you too. Put the heading conventional and write. I've already given coal and petroleum separately. So write down for natural gas. Then I'll take you to non-conventional. Okay, which school is having exam? The majority kids are absent. All are absent.
Yep.
Why today? Tomorrow to which paper then?
11.
They need one small what do you call it? Excuse to take a leave. Sitting at home, what studies they are doing will come to know when the marks are going to come. Okay. Just go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, this boy is joining Saturday online lecture with me. Tell the topic. Which topic you? Anybody wants? You are interested? Tell the topics. First, you have asked me history 2 topics. No, he has asked me some topics of history. Yes, he has asked me first and second phase of INC. Wait, I'll tell you. Because if others are interested, you may very well, most welcome to join. Wait, huh? Because your Dwaka madam has given me all detailed one. So I'll tell what all the topics he has asked for me. One, he has asked nationalism, growth of nationalism. First phase of nationalism, Indian national movement. Soil resources, natural vegetation. If you guys happen to have doubts on the same, huh? Definitely. 2 घंटे का है मेरा class. Notes on what topic? ठीक है. Write down natural gas. It occurs in association with natural gas. It occurs in association with mineral oil. It occurs in association with mineral oil. Natural gas. Just check. But ये point नहीं दिया. Check what did I give for natural gas? Where is the head? Now this is regarding not exactly natural gas. You can write. No problem. It is associated with mineral oil. It is associated with mineral oil. Occurs along with mineral oil. With main composition of methane gas. With main composition of methane. Okay, what is methane formula? C6H4.
CH4.
Very good. C6H12O6 और कुछ है? देख मैंने भी थोड़ा. It mainly comprises of methane gas. One atom of carbon combines with one atom of 4 atoms of hydrogen to give you 1 molecule of methane. हम लोग भी chemical equation करते थे. With main composition of methane gas, bracket में लिखो 95%. Deposits of natural gas are formed by deposits of natural gas are formed by deposits of natural gas are formed by decomposition. Careful. Formed by the decomposition of dead animals and plants. Decomposition of dead animals and plants buried under the earth. Decomposition of animals and plants buried under the earth. Underline the word decomposition. Okay, let me, since I don't want you to start writing directly, let me just explain it. I don't know, this natural gas is something which today it is a one, we cannot say complementary, substituting for diesel and petrol. Now, what is this natural gas? If you have seen with your dad, you have gone into a car for filling the petrol or diesel. Petrol and diesel, you might have seen something called a CNG also. The word is compressed natural gas. Now, for years, the use of this natural gas was not available. But now, as a combustion of the engine, instead of a petrol, even a gas can really work. But the efficiency of the engine, or we can say the fuel efficiency or the movement of the piston of the car is not as good as diesel or a petrol. But then is one, it is natural. Second, it's smoke free and it is environmentally friendly. And generally, initially, I remember it was 10 or 15 years before CNG cars were introduced in India, and there were 1 or 2 blasts in the cars. But that doesn't mean that we have stopped using. It was Delhi, the most polluted city in India, one of the most polluted. They have converted all their CTC buses, I think what they call it, Delhi Transport Corporation, something, into all CNG buses. Like in Navi Mumbai, if you have seen latest only, we are finding buses which are running on EV. You understand what are EVs? Electrical vehicles. But Delhi was to be considered to be the most polluted. So those days EV buses were not there. So it was CNG buses. What is CNG? The gas which I am trying to understand. So whenever these miners or petroleum, they mine it and they extracted a gas was evolved, which was unaware. But maybe like by accident or maybe by some other thing, these guys have understood there is one gas which is evolved. Now we are using it. Now this is for your cars and automobiles. But then you consider we have a natural gas, we use it in our houses also. Nowadays we have a combustion fuel. What is that gas is called as in Bombay? Mahanagar gas. I personally inquired to get a connection to my house because majority of my flats in the buildings they have it. But it proves to be a bit costly for me. One, they asked me close to 9,000 as a deposit, one, and every 2 months they'll be giving a bill. It's a meter reading. But I heard the LPG cylinder burns with a greater fuel efficiency. The CNG will burn, but it will not have that intensity of the heat very high. But what is good thing? It's very safe. It's accident free, and it is very environmental friendly. So I have seen some buildings have every flats have gone for that yellow color thin pipeline if you have seen. And in some roadside towards the left, you might have seen Mahanagar gas karke erection kuch rahega. So that is a company which supplies domestic gas. The CNG is a gas which is supplied to both industries as well as to the cars and the automobiles. Now, what the government of India have done today, India is the 4th largest producer of solar, which I'll be discussing somewhere here. In future, you are going to expect many cars which will be run on batteries, many cars which will be running on electric vehicle. Now, what is electricity is very simple. Like I run my mobile, it has an inbuilt battery in it. Once I get charged, it goes on as long as the charge is on. Neither it is going to have any efficient, neither it is going to have any pollution or anything. So even the buses, when they are docked into the docking station, you understand the meaning of the docking station? They will be charging it. And certain buses I have heard, once it's docked in the morning and once in the night, it runs for the next 24 hours. And that's too good. And these buses are not going for long, for maybe 300 or 500 kilometers, which might be not good. If the EV buses are running in a desert or a, I don't understand it. Where will we get the charging point from? That's what. And then based on that, now we have two-wheelers. There are so many companies which have come up with the two-wheelers. Now Ola being number one, a bit costlier one, but Ola ranks to be number one. They are saying that next 2 years in Mumbai and Navi Mumbai, they will have thousands of centers for charging. And the charging is also very cheap. They say for 1 hour charging, it will cost close to 150 rupees. Instead of that, you are putting petrol or a diesel, which might be for thousands or 45 minutes, it will charge 100%. That's enough. Now it is the duty of the government to provide these docking stations. So always understand CNG, one, it is pollution free, environmental friendly. It is going to reduce the pressure on the petrol and diesel. Understood what is CNG?
So let's say after using some electrics, then the rate of petrol will also decrease cost.
EV are more costlier to manufacture as compared to the CNG. CNG engine is the same, kit is also same, but they have to provide a kit. Instead of the liquid, the engine has to rotate using a gas. So there is one CNG kit which is fitted into a car. Are you understanding? And if you open the docking, what is boot we call it, either in the front of the car, in the back of the car, you might have seen a big cylinder. And this cylinder, it's like the cylinder that we get it in our houses, but it is red in color, but this is white in color. It has all the fittings, and it is also liquid. When they are failing, it is in the liquid form only. But when we start the engine, it goes in the form of a gas. So my own diesel or a petrol car, I can convert it into a CNG car. But I need to fit a separate kit, which is called a CNG kit. Ye to ho gaya natural gas wala. If you want to convert that same two-wheeler or a four-wheeler into an electric vehicle, I can't have a cylinder inside my car. Because cylinder ka to kaam hi nahi. I need more batteries. And the batteries will be fitted there. And batteries get charged. That's what I mentioned the example of your mobile phone. Once that battery gets charged fully, there are certain restrictions. It might go to 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers. You are frequently going to the office, leave it, taking the vehicle back to the house. It's quite good. But if I'm going for Bombay to Delhi or Bombay to then I have to careful. I remember I personally wait for a EV car which I need to purchase, but then they say there are certain EV cars so good, the more you apply the brakes, the more the engine is rotating, the battery gets automatically charged. It's more like a dynamo of a bicycle. Have you heard of a dynamo? Dekha bhi hai. In our school days, my dad only fitted me a dynamo in bicycle. And dynamo will power a small spotlight or a headlight. So सोच लो dynamo कैसा काम करता है? The more you pedal your bicycle wheel, that small apparatus, it has a small rotatory. It will rotate with your tires, and that will generate power for your light. That's enough. अभी ये same काम आपका कार में हो रहा है. And if I say 1 kilometer, it will charge you or cost you hardly 1 rupees. What else I need? If I take my car for a long drive journey from Lonavala, Khandala to Pune, minimum servicing cost will cost me 15,000 to 20,000 minimum. If I don't drive my car very rashly. But EV, they say it will cost me less than 1,000 rupees. Where is 15,000 and where is 1,000? One, it saves a lot of your petrol and diesel. Second, you are ready to take your car for a long distance. Why? आपको maintenance का तो सवाल ही नहीं है. No brake oil, no engine oil, no this oil, no 2T oil, कुछ नहीं चाहिए उसको. हाँ, maybe engine oil थोड़ा बहुत लगेगा because of piston. Brake oil सब क्या करने का? There's nothing. Everything is on the batteries. So that's why India says maybe in the next 2 years, India might be one of the leading producer of this, which is already, and already did ethanol mix up to a petrol. If I remember. Government of India put the target to 2024. अभी बोलते कि 22 में उसका खत्म हो गया target. By August, our petrol will be added with 20% ethanol. Ethanol is a naturally occurring some chemical formula they make it. अभी ये petrol में अगर 20% ethanol add करेगा, the cost of the petrol might come down even 60 rupees per liter. अभी देखो 60 rupees for last so many years we have never heard of it. अगर 60 rupees हो जाता है, it will have a big impact. सब्जी वाला वो पेट्रोल का भाव बढ़ गया, मैडम अभी पेट्रोल का भाव कम हो गया, निकला. Correct. Once the petrol prices or diesel prices comes down, it automatically pushes a big influence over the entire society. I don't understand. So that is what the government of India is working on. So CNG has been one of the big one, but it is not as big as what we are trying to have this solar panels or this ethanol. CNG will be continuing. Like in America, they are not worried for filling a car because they have used the gas only, and they don't call it as a petrol station. They call it as a gas station only. 90% of the cars are on gas, and they take the cars for even 1,000 miles. They are lease bought. $40 या $50 में पूरा कार भर जाता है. उनका कार हमारे जैसा इतना भी नहीं है. I personally have not ride. One of my friend, German fellow, used to ride. Ram 2000 बोलता था. It might be much bigger than this. 100 से बड़ा है वो गाड़ी. And he will, I still remember, he will press the accelerator to 250 miles per hour. And purposely, I want to put that windshield down and see how is this car running. And then the air will come in such a way. He'll say, please close the windshield. So imagine what you and me are enjoying this. And I said, are you not worried to fill the gas? What क्या है? $50 या maximum $100. So this age we also should have. Maybe with your adulthood, when you start earning, you might be taking your mother or father or your family members to such a long distance on your own car. And did I not say transport? I've already started with the other department. Now we are having the latest NH highway, which will connect Bombay and Delhi. Minimum traveling distance is 12 hours. Minimum. It will be faster than your Rajdhani. मैंने सुना राजधानी 16 घंटा कुछ लेता है from Bombay to Delhi. Imagine you are going to reach with your car less than the Rajdhani. No need to rush your car with the Rajdhani speed, but that NH is so beautifully planned. So they say within the next 5 years, India might be one of the superpower in terms of transport. I mean, I don't know whether you have heard the news or not. If you remember the Tejas, the indigenous 100% fighter jet aeroplane, we are going to get the biggest order from a neighboring country called Malaysia. कर लेगा. नहीं मैं देख रहा हूँ. पहला उसका पैर गया, फिर हाथ जा रहा है. Listen. Public park behavior between you two don't exhibit. Public parks are open and you are The concentration was so high, I have observed even each and every minor movement of it. Right now, I'm explaining so beautifully besides my things, and you guys are. It's okay, attraction is right on. LPG right on first. LPG. Full form, first write down liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied petroleum gas. Mainly supplied to the households in India. Liquefied petroleum gas mainly supplied to the households in India with with the aim of supplying cheap and continuous fuel to the households. Cheap तो नहीं बोल सकता अभी now it is close to 1,000, but it's okay.
What after India?
With the main aim of supplying cheap and fuels to India.
Cheap and
Yes, cheap supply fuel to India, Indian families. Next sentence, same heading. LPG are the most convenient fuel. LPG are the most convenient fuel since easy transportation and easy storage. Easy transportation and easy storage. Easy transportation and easy storage. Then go to CNG. CNG. So why is he writing with a pencil, man? You don't have a pen with you. Then why pencil? Yeah, are you following that notebook? I remembered. Once only I have corrected. The same notebook.
It's
No, that's between me and him.
as
Related to studies. I have asked him to write certain question answers of his own, practicing, and he submits me the book every week, which I come here. He has done only once, I think. Okay, let's go to CNG. Mainly used for automobiles. That's done, full stop. Mainly used in automobiles.
LPG.
Ayan was so wonderful boy during the 9th standard.
Used
in उसको हाथ मत लगाओ लड़की है थोड़ा सा
सर वो भी तो अपने हाथ लगा रहे हैं अच्छा ये तो बैठा हो
you don't mind I don't know what is the character behavior I can't used in automobiles as an important alternative for petrol and diesel engine cars. For petrol and diesel engine cars.
So, as an important
alternative for petrol and diesel engine cars. Petrol and diesel engine cars. Second point, due to increasing level of pollution. Second point, due to increasing level of pollutions, not pollutant, due to increasing level of pollutions, use of CNG fitted cars, use of CNG fitted cars, due to increasing level of pollution, CNG fitted cars have taken over the petrol or diesel. Have taken over the petrol or diesel. Just one minute. So write the advantages now. Point number 1. Both CNG and LPG. Both CNG and LPG are the best alternative to reduce pollution and cost effective. To reduce pollution and cost effective.
Are the best?
To reduce pollution and cost effective. To reduce pollution and cost effective. Second point, easy preservation, easy storing liquid instead of preserving, easy storage and easy transportation, easy storage and easy transportation, easy storage and easy transportation. Hyphen, pipelines, tankers, through land and sea. Pipeline sea के अंदर से भी आता है, मतलब है ना? Through land and sea.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the saying?
एक minute, let him ask that. Wait, let him ask. What's that?
It might sound stupid, but what is what ship sails on pipelines?
Yeah, how do I explain to this wonderfully nutty fellow? The pipelines, pipelines are known in so deep where the ships shake. They have taken synthetic fiber cables from Chennai to Andaman. ये जो फाइबर केबल तेरा घर पे आता है इंटरनेट का केबल, वो केबल गया अंडमान. ये मोदी गवर्नमेंट ने कंप्लीट किया विद इन 1.5 years. फाइबर केबल कैसा सी के नीचे से गया है. Your behaviors and doubts are as good as like any mentally retarded boy. The ship will not sink in a place where this pipelines are not going to be deep into the seas, and boy. It might be on the shortest route where the seas are shallow. I understand. If they are going deep in, the laying cost itself is going to be a big trouble for the government of whatever. Like we have Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and then India. A big dream project. Oil to be transported from Iran to India via these countries. But then America did not like India getting oil through pipelines. But then why, if India gets oil from Iran straight away through pipeline, the cost will be very minimum. And America ka aaj bhi ye oil ka hi business hai na, Gulf of Mexico and all that stuff. So India had, America had put so much sanction on Iran, Iran has to suspend the program. But look, if I tell you in reality what India has done with Russia ne bola main sirf 8 billion gallons deta hu per day to India in between this Ukraine-Russia war. Abhi figures are like per day wo 39 billion barrels deta tha per day, and that also market rate se bhi double cheap, just to give a shock to America. and India and Russia had started their own triple R currency. What is triple R currency? Russia, ruble, the third R I forgot. मतलब generally international currency से deal करना पड़ेगा. मतलब if India is purchasing oil from Russia, it has to accept on American dollar only. Because minimum 5,000 नहीं है. मैंने सुना $5 billion का अकाउंट खोलना पड़ता है 2 कंट्री को ट्रेड करने के लिए. सोचो हाँ. एंड ये पूरा डॉलर्स अमेरिकन डॉलर है. जितना ज्यादा अमेरिकन डॉलर यू यूज इट उतना अमेरिका को ही फायदा है. बिकॉज़ इट इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रेडेड बाय अमेरिकन बैंक ओनली. बट नाउ व्हाट इंडिया हैज डन had a direct trade with Russia and India. It was what is did I say? Russian ruble rupee. तो ये लोग ना इंटरनेशनल बैंक में परमिशन लेके अपना खुद का अकाउंट खोल लिए. अभी जितना भी डीलिंग होगा रुपीस और रूबल में होगा. Who is losing the commission? America. Lost the commission. And Russia officially बोला मैं 9 billion gallons ही दे रहा हूँ as per the restrictions. But अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया बोलते 39 to 40 बिलियन बैरल्स आता था एक दिन. एंड अभी इंडिया उसके लिए ये प्राइसेस कम किया. अभी बोलते हैं और एक 6 महीना और एक 2 साल रुको. The prices may be as cheap during your dad's time or his dad's time. I'm waiting for that day at least to fill my used bikes with. I always fill this high petroleum fuel only. 2 दिन तक वो नहीं मिला तो मैं जैसे तैसे काम चला रहा था. Why? One, the combustion is good and the engine, the work that I do with my gadi is too good. But why America has done all this? Because America wants to put restriction on India that do not buy oil from Russia. But अगर आप इतना बोलता है, Germany itself buys gas every day from Russia, even during the war, because Germany cannot withstand. I mean, Germany is a part of European Union. So what India said, you are following dual policy. तुम्हारा ही neighbor लेता है और हमको बोलते हैं कि नहीं लेने. Because India was not supporting America in that Ukraine-Russia war, and India maintained its stand. Now, अभी तो open हो गया. In fact, the war has come to an end, almost over, because it has captured 3 main provinces where Russian people are very high, and उसने already independent declare भी कर दिया Vladimir Putin. यूक्रेन का भैया ज़ेलेंस्की अभी सिर्फ एग्रीमेंट कर रहा है, इधर कुछ नहीं कर सकते. मतलब 3 big provinces where Russia was aiming. Already Russia has declared independent from Ukraine. अभी उधर रशिया अपना गवर्नमेंट ऑर्डर सब कुछ करेगा. यूक्रेन कर क्या सकता? Nothing. War is almost coming to an end. Almost 90%. The dream of Russian fellow has been achieved. In fact, अभी एक बुल्गारिया करके कंट्री है. Mr. Putin has put Bulgaria into the war. अभी बुल्गारिया अटैक कर रहा है यूक्रेन पे. अभी I don't know why Bulgaria is interested in attacking Ukraine. Maybe उनका भी कुछ border dispute रहेगा. We do not know what's the issue. कहाँ से कहाँ लेके जा रहे हैं? You want to tune me into क्या बोला? मेरे वजह से. Next point. It is cleaner, cheaper. It is more cleaner, cheaper than diesel or petrol. It is cleaner, cheaper than diesel or petrol. Next. It is also used for producing. Petrol and CNG and LPG. Used for producing ammonia for fertilizers. And in some paints and plastics, and used in paints and plastics. That's it. Hyphen fertilizer and used in paints and plastics. Now I want you guys to write the disadvantages. Shusti, are you having your geography textbook with you?
Yes, sir.
It's on page number 136. Write only 3 points combining and let me know. Used in plastics and paints. Paint. Carry on, finish it, then we'll start with this non-conventional. Quickly finish it. Alright. That I need to. I am to जरा सामने.
सर वो पहले से उधर बैठा था. सर देखो मैं कहाँ पे बैठा हूँ और फिर भी उसका.
देखो You come here. You come in this bench without any further ado. Come. You understand further ado? Because he is inside and you are outside sitting. So it's easy for you to transfer you from there to here. Jaldi jaldi. So that I can finish the solar energy also. Quickly finish it.
Sir is taking my umbrella, sir. Sir, I do not know any umbrella. I have just
You leave him. You calm down. What kind of a childish behavior? Even the now, the KG and the other children will not behave like you too. Chalo, I am. Right now, disadvantages. That I have given only advantages. My boy, this point. I am waiting for the PTM. It should be an offline type. Hopefully, management allows that, and then we will meet all your parents.
I'm quite quiet.
I know. I know. So that doesn't give you any license to talk and do some mischief. If finish the disadvantages. Hey, did we do map work in any of the chapters of geography? And when these kids are going to come back?
After exams.
But approximately.
28.
And you guys will be going for the exam then?
28.
28 or 20?
So we are 23.
Okay, then I will be continuing with. Hey, Srishti, when is your exam? School exams?
25 July.
It starts, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Are we up to the portion in geography?
Yes, sir. It's still water resources.
Okay, so we are very ahead of it. Finish it off, then I'll be explaining. Extra pen. Extra pen. Yesterday I was in Washington. Quickly finish it. I'm waiting for both all online and offline students. My boy.
What? This is what. No, it got me.
I remember.
Perfect.
Complete. Oi. Look at their center of attraction. मैं इधर बैठा है फिर भी दोनों का बात चल रहा है.
काम पे और गूगल पर नहीं.
You give me an extra pen. This boy is giving me a pen and is taking the liberty to not do that. Right.
फिर आपने मेरे से मांग लिया.
सामने तो यही बता बैठा है ना. मेरे को अंदर देखने के लिए कुछ शेयर कर रहा है. Some tips for me how to teach. Today it is 6, is it? Although I'm bending down and writing, that doesn't mean my eyes are not open. एक दिन उसको ऐसा थक्के पड़ेंगे ना तो आप
सर अभी मार सकते हैं. आप कवर करेंगे.
नहीं अच्छा लगता है. But there is a situation called ants and pants. उसके जब कभी-कभी होता है. Correct. Shall we discuss with the non-conventional?
Yes.
मुझे लिखना तो कुछ है नहीं है फिर क्या है solution क्या? Convention is completed. And that you have to write on. एक भी point नहीं लिखा. Hello, what's your name? Good, that's it. Beautifully she got it. Unwaiting. Just to wait for it. Okay, now you understand what is non-conventional here. So when we move away from conventional, these are non-conventional. Okay, just stop writing, then you can continue. अभी लिखने का नाटक मत कर रहा करो. दिखता है मुझे. अभी I'll make you to sit for the next half an hour and fully write and then only you don't worry. Let your parent come. I will not send you. Non-conventional are those resources which are generally costlier in the short run. How do you say it is costlier? Because since they are non-conventional, their mechanisms might be more costlier. For example, when you go for solar energy, India receives maximum sunlight. Since we experience what kind of climate? Tropical monsoon. Especially in places like Rajasthan, places like Gujarat, the sunlight can be easily trapped. Now Rajasthan has become one hotbed since the temperatures are generally 45 and above to trap the sunlight. The problem is that installation of silicon chips, second the places they needed, it's initially costly. But once I've trapped all this, in the long run it might be double or triple cheaper than what I'm going to use any other petroleum, diesel or any electricity or anything. So when we try to compare the non-conventional with the conventional, they are generally cheaper in the long run. If there is one paragraph given geothermal. If I say geothermal, I'll show you certain pictures that I've shown to my ICSE other batch also. We say generally geothermal we have it in 2 places in Himachal Pradesh. We have a valley called Manikaran and the name of the valley is Puga Valley. And it's a very small plant where the interior heat of the earth is allowed to come up with a great steam and that will rotate the turbine. But in India, it is purely on a laboratory basis. What is laboratory? Experimental. Then after this, we will be going into wind energy. That is the most alternative or the cheaper. You might have seen windmill or wind farm cluster. In India, we have the largest wind farm cluster from 2 stations in South India. Unfortunately, one of the stations is my hometown called Madurai. It is a stretch to Nagarkoil, the place. It is I think close to 140 kilometers. So पूरा stretch में Government of India ने windmills लगाया. Have you seen windmills at least in videos? So windmill is the next important non-conventional source of energy. As long as the windmill, the turbines are rotating, the energy is produced. If you have seen windmill very carefully, the blades are so aerodynamically designed. One blade goes down, automatically the other two blades are going to rotate. Many people ask me, sir, wind ka speed itna zyada nahi rahega to bhi wind hota hai? Definitely, because the blades are so tall, away from any buildings, they are on the open space. If one blade comes down, automatically the other two blade is going to pull it up. I don't understand. So this even windmill or wind energy is a biggest source of energy under non-conventional. Then we have tidal energy. Tidal energy, it is normally the tides of the sea waves. Generally a country like India has good seashore area. You know what the seashores are, where tidal actions are shown. Again, the tides are not easy to be trapped into a particular area where it is going to circulate the turbine blades. So there are, I'll show you the videos of all windmill and geothermal. Then you'll understand how a tidal energy is done. In India, we have few places, but these are purely again on experiment. Large scale, we are using little bit of solar energy only. The other sources are generally as a part of understanding what kind of energy India is able to and will able to produce maybe in future. In that conventional source of energy, that hydel power projects I've left it. That I'll be finishing it off when I'm getting the time to notes.
Current energy and geothermal energy.
It's not there. So what is the first one? Solar energy is there. Second,
wind energy. Then directly to nuclear power, biogas.
Okay, so nuclear and biogas I'll explain. Okay, wait. So when you use the word nuclear energy, it's very simple to tell you there are two uranium-235 and uranium-238. These are those fuels which are generally used at nuclear power plants. The first and the most important was in Tarapur, in our own Maharashtra. If you have gone to that Anushakti Trombay area, we have a place called BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. So atomic nuclear power plants in India, we have major 12. And these are those energy which are generally used for the industrial purposes. But then India is one of the important for nuclear power plants. So what is nuclear? We say those substances which have this radiating elements. What is radiating? Where it emits. If you remember, it was Homi Jahangir Baba who was a person to invent this technology which can be used. When an atom is bombarded under controlled fission and fusion reaction, it releases huge amount of energy. And that energy can be used as a which form of energy? Nuclear form of energy. And again, it is conventional or non-conventional? It is non-conventional. Is it okay? So you have to remember uranium substances. You have to remember a nuclear reactor. In India, we have major power plants in our country. We have it in Tarapur in Maharashtra, Trombay again in Bombay, and then we have it in Kalpakkam in Chennai. Okay, Narora in UP. These are there. I'll make you to mark in the map. What is the next one? Next to atomic energy? Biogas. It's normally a gas which is evolved when you make a big tank-like apparatus. Not tank-like tank only. And it is normally a rural apparatus where not only the cow dung or the wastes are put, even human wastes are also added into it. So maybe with the slurry, there are two things. Maybe after the decomposition of this animal and human waste, it is going to evolve a gas which we carry through pipes. Maybe after a few months down the line, that slurry is a part of a good manure. So biogas plants are one important. One, it reduces the unwanted kachras or the garbages in the rural area. Second, once that slurry can be used as manure. Is it okay? So I'll show you some of the videos for which one? Which one you need? Which one you need? What is my choice? There's no choice. Shisti, you tell me which videos you need to see. Non-conventional. We'll start with the solar energy first.
Social uranium enrichment.
Atomic power plant चाहिए.
Uranium enrichment, not how it is produced.
Enrichment means the natural uranium which is found freely in earth. It is enriched with some chemical substances so that it can be used. Like first place was monazite sands of Kerala, where they started using it. All of a sudden, Russia was one which initiated many programs in India, but Russia ने suddenly uranium को supply बंद कर दिया. हमारे पास अभी क्या बोलते हैं? Nuclear reactor तो था, but fuel नहीं. But suddenly they have monazite sands of Kerala, which have radiating elements. और उस sand को use करके लोग ने enrich करके फिर uranium बनाया. समझा? So let me show you the nuclear energy first. Is there? अच्छा. Why is he so much fascinated by the mathematics? You don't worry. जिसको बोला उसको मालूम है. Hey, this is the nuclear power plant. We have major power plant as 7. Let's see what are they.
Sir can't see the video.
I'm sharing it. Just a minute. I'm just getting a decent video for you guys and then I'm sharing. So this is the first one I'm sharing for nuclear energy. Then we will start with the writing part. First is solar energy.
A nuclear power plant is a thermal power station which generates electrical energy from heat, and it basically a factory for making lots of electricity, enough to power a city of around 2 million peoples. Nuclear energy is the world's second largest, low-carbon source of electricity. Approximately 10% of the global electricity is being generated by nuclear reactors. As of April 2020, there are 440 operable power reactors in the world, with a combined electrical capacity of 390 gigawatts. By far the largest nuclear electricity producers are the United States, with 809,359 gigawatt per hour of nuclear electricity in 2019. The nuclear power plant consists of numerous buildings and facilities, the most important of which are as follows. This is the containment building, where the nuclear reactors are housed. It is made of 2 meters thick reinforced concrete. Inside the containment building, a large tank called calandria, which is the heart of the nuclear reactors. This is the turbine generator building. It houses the turbine and generator. This is the controlling building, for monitor and control the nuclear reactors. The fuel is naturally occurring uranium. That process into small pellets. Then the pellet are sealed into metal tubes, which are welded to form a fuel bundle. The fuel bundles are then inserted in a large tank called calandria, which is the heart of the nuclear reactor. Typically more than 200 of these rods are bundled together to form a fuel assembly. A reactor core is typically made up of a couple of hundred assemblies. In order to allow nuclear fission to proceed in a controlled manner, a control rod exists. The control rod can be moved up and down to control the fission rate of uranium. The nuclear power plant produces electricity using the heat that comes from splitting uranium atoms in a process called nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is a nuclear radioactive.
If I want to explain the nuclear fission reaction, when the atoms are bombarded, it is going to emit lots and lots of heat. And from that heat only, we produce electricity. And these are very dangerous. A small mistake or even a slight, carelessness might lead to the biggest explosion. But then India is doing for a long time. Unlike China, like we had a place called Fukushima in China. Due to earthquake, China, Japan. I'm so sorry. Due to the earthquake and other thing, what do you call it? There was some nuclear radiation. People in Bombay started afraid that radiation radiation faster, but okay, that is the only danger for the nuclear energy.
Active decay process, in which the hitting neutrons on the uranium atoms, then the uranium atoms split into 2. And it releases 3 neutrons. Each process releases 2 uranium atoms and 3 neutrons. A chain reaction.
Neutron atom releasing 3 neutrons, and that 3 neutrons, when it is bombarded and separated, along with that small atoms, I think your chemistry teacher might be explaining far better. It releases lots of energy, and some people say these bombarding of this neutron itself can save thousands and thousands of tons of coal energy. Coal energy को मतलब क्या बोलता है? Thermal energy. वो क्या है? Coal is a conventional
reaction of atom splitting and ensure that there is a constant source of heat, meaning that it generates lots of heat. This heat is used to convert electricity. Let's explore how they produce electricity from heat. The calandria vessel is a cylindrical vessel.
So this is that entire vehicle of that plutonium bars, and these are the things. Whatever it is, now they are showing you graphically.
Housing the lots of lattice tubes, which are filled with the heavy water moderator that flows around the fuel bundles. Heavy water is found in all water, rivers, and ocean. On average, 1 out of every 7,000 drops of water is heavy water. It is 10% heavier than ordinary water because it incorporates a heavy form of hydrogen called deuterium. During the nuclear fission process, the heavy water flows around the fuel bundles. A chain reaction of splitting atoms releases tremendous amount of heat into the heavy water. Then the heated heavy water flows through a closed loop system that's pumped through the reactor to a set of the steam generator, where it transfers the heat to ordinary water. When that water boils, it turns into steam. The steam is transported at high pressure through pipes to a large turbine, where pushes the blade and turns a shaft connected to a rotor in the generator, causing the rotor to spin. The spinning rotor is a large electromagnet that producing rotating magnetic fields. Due to this process, electricity is generated. Then it transferred to the transmission line.
कुछ बेहतर हो तो मैं बदलूंगी। नया लक्स बॉडी वॉश, इसमें है खास।
You understood what it is? Let me just show you then wind energy, because in detail you are not going to understand anyway. I will give you some today notes. So he is also into the limelight like you guys. This is that.
Win at work.
वो तो बोल के मत दिखा, वो तो एक्टिविटी से मालूम ही पड़ जाता है. So look here. So this is wind energy. Please listen.
Progress in our fast-paced digital age is dragged back by the looming threat of global warming and climate change. One solution we can bank on is switching from high-emission, import-based, fast-depleting fossil fuels like coal to clean and renewable energy. The Indian government is therefore committed to combat climate change with mainstream renewable like wind, a welcome change for future generations. Wind has been transforming the face of the earth long before humans even existed. Today, humans use wind for change. In India, wind power projects grew steadily after grid-connected turbines came in 1989. From those beginnings, wind is seen as a powerful alternate source to address power demand of the country. Today, India is the 4th largest wind power in the world, with 34 gigawatt installed capacity and a potential of 302 gigawatt. With major investments driven by the private sector, a whopping 60% capacity increase showed in just the last 4 years, reflected in the installed power of the 9 wind states in India. At 49%, wind already leads with the largest piece of the Indian renewable energy pie. By 2022, the government aims for 175 gigawatt renewable, with 60 gigawatt going to wind. Perhaps the time has come when the entire world and the country, like India, will be driven by renewable energy such as wind and solar. Wind manufacturers echo the Make in India mantra powerfully combining 80% indigenization, cutting-edge technology, and R&D centers all over India. This has boosted the economy, creating 2 million jobs where they are needed most in rural and transforming the face.
Starting that second chapter, let me give you some assignments. No, pick up your UT volumes, everyone. So what? I can take few minutes. Which notes you want? Solar energy. Pick up the conventional one. Forget about non-conventional. Shisti, you also keep it so that you can write down the notes for conventional. Give me. Quick. Which are the questions you need to?
Sir, can I ask?
No, why? Itna too lazy hai, tera kaam main nahi karega.
You are telling the question from there.
हाँ ठीक है.
Answer क्या करोगे?
What is the page number for conventional?
149.
It is 149, but it is solved nahi unsolved. 152. Take the first one. What are conventional? Important coal fields?
Let us tell ours.
No. 2 fields. And advantages we have already written. And not coal we have written. So it is 1. Leaving 4, you have to write all. Only 5 questions are there. Okay, Srishti, did you find out? Leave the question number 4. Write 1, 2, 3, and 5. I'll see you in my next lectures. Thank you. Okay.
Bye, sir.
Take care of your health and be regular in my lectures. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.